everyone, it's Maki here. Today, I'm going to talk about the CROSS BONE GUNDAM series. First, I have some unfortunate news. The release date for the CROSS BONE GUNDAM 30th anniversary book, originally scheduled for 26 March, has been postponed. The newly announced release date is due April. It's only a short delay, so it was probably caused by a minor issue. I'm planning to buy it. Now then, today's topic is the creation of the Gundam F89. This isn't about the world of the story, but how it was created in the real world. Mr. Yuichi Hasegawa, the author of the CROSS BONE GUNDAM series, shared some background information on his personal website. Let's take a look at the setting materials he created together. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider joining the 99-cent per month membership. As a thank you, you'll receive a name badge and comment stamps. Alright, let's begin the analysis. The Gundam F89 is one of the mobile suits known as the Formula series. The Gundam F90 and F91 models are particularly well known. It first appeared in the CROSS BONE GUNDAM series. It has also recently appeared in the Battle Operation 2 game. But how did Mr. Yuichi Hasegawa end up creating the F89? The story goes back to when he was writing CROSS BONE GUNDAM DUST. This was during the period when the comic was series in the magazine called Gundam Ace. Mr. Hasegawa received a message from Mr. Morita. Mr. Morita is most likely Takashi Morita, the editor-in-chief of Gundam Ace. Mr. Morita told Mr. Hasegawa that he could ask Mr. Kunio Okawara to design a mobile suit for CROSS BONE GUNDAM DUST. Mr. Okawara is a legendary designer who has created many Gundams in the series. He is famously known for designing the very first Gundam. He also worked as the main designer for the Gundam Seed series, and he himself has said that the Freedom Gundam is one of the designs he remembers most strongly from his career. The opportunity to request a mobile suit design from the very busy Mr. Okawara for CROSS BONE GUNDAM and to receive his approval was a significant event. Mr. Hasegawa was absolutely thrilled when he received this message. As a student, he had enjoyed watching the original Gundam series on television, so the opportunity to commission Mr. Okawara to design something was a dream come true. However, he calmed down and carefully analyzed the situation. He thought to himself, if we're going to ask such a legendary designer, is it really appropriate to just ask him to draw a new version of the Anker? He went back and carefully re-examined the settings within the CROSS BONE GUNDAM story. During that process, he came across an unclear element in the setting. The idea of the mobile suit that served as the base for the Anker. The Anker is a mobile suit that was completed after repeated modifications. Originally, it was unclear what kind of mobile suit it had been. So a new setting was created. It had originally been a large mobile suit called the F89. Sonali had created the F89 experimentally before developing the small mobile suits of the F90 series. Mr. Hasegawa therefore thought that it would be fitting to ask Mr. Okawara, who designed the F90 and F91, to work on this project. It will also make the fact that the Anker is such a powerful mobile suit more convincing. That is how Mr. Hasegawa decided to ask Mr. Okawara to design the F89. Now, let's take a look at the materials that Mr. Hasegawa prepared when he made the request. First, here is the first page. This diagram briefly explains the relationship between the F89 and the F90. The mobile suit in the center is the F89. As the official design had not yet been finalized, a simplified sketch is shown. The F90 was created by developing a small mobile suit based on the F89. The Anker was eventually completed by repeatedly modifying the F89. These relationships are illustrated in the diagram. Next is the design request document. First, let's look at the text at the top. It has the heading, "This is the kind of mobile suit the F89 is." The F89 is a large mobile suit that Sunnory created as an experiment before developing the F90. Sunnory did not suddenly succeed in creating small mobile suits. First, they tried building a mobile suit based on the conventional standard, an 18-meter cross mobile suit. After developing a small mobile suit based on this machine, the result was the F90. As it was an experimental mobile suit, it was not provided to the Federation forces or anyone else. It is the same size as an 18-meter cross machine. Next, let's look at the text on the right. There is no need for the appearance to resemble the Anker. The Anker took its current form after many modifications. Because of that, it does not need to resemble the Anker. The Anker has an asymmetrical appearance, but this is also the result of later modifications, so there is no need to reflect this in the design of the F89. Finally, let's look at the text on the left. Ideally, the exhaust ducts would be placed in roughly similar locations. The Anker was completed by reusing the frame of the F89. If the exhaust ducts are placed in similar positions, I believe it will help create a sense of technical continuity between the two mobile suits. This is the content of the materials that Mr. Hasegawa prepared when requesting the design. The impression is given that he placed the order in a very open and flexible way that respected Mr. Okawara's creativity while still providing clear instructions for the important elements. And that is how the F89 was born. The F89 also caught the attention of other creators. Mr. Morita contacted Mr. Hasegawa once again. He asked would it be alright if the F89 also appeared in another comic, F90 Fastest Formula. Mr. Hasegawa replied, "I have no problem with that. The F89 is a mobile suit designed by Mr. Okawara. If you receive his approval, please feel free to use it." While it is true that Mr. Okawara completed the design, Mr. Hasegawa also played a key role in developing the concept behind the F89. Nevertheless, he gladly approved the idea of the F89 appearing in other stories. In this way, the F89 would play an important role in many stories. One of these is the game battle operation, too. It is through this kind of cooperation between creators that the Gundam series continues to grow and thrive. The F89 is a true symbol of that spirit. Thank you very much for watching until the end. I'll see you again in the next program.